One of the things that we've talked about is what it looks like to treat Lent, the season that we're in right now, leading up to Easter, as a kind of spiritual checkup. So kind of examining our hearts, taking stock of our lives, building new rhythms that connect us with Jesus. And so over the last few weeks, we've talked a lot about some practices like fasting and prayer and building kind of rhythms of time in Scripture. But for the next several weeks, we're going to ask some kind of questions to help us kind of examine our own hearts. And one of the things that we want to encourage you in, and we're actually providing for you over the next few weeks, is the opportunity to journal with some kind of set questions to talk through. And so, Erin, why are we doing this? What are some of the reasons why we think this could be helpful?
Right. So when I think about journaling, it actually just starts with knowing my own heart. And my own heart knows how quickly it gets distracted. So my confession is that I have a really, really hard time paying attention in prayer for more than a minute or two without my mind wandering. And I'm trying to grow in that, but the reality is it's just really hard. And so one of the things that I found in my life that is helpful and where I flourish most is when I actually give myself something actively to do when I'm interacting with the Lord. So sometimes it looks like answering Bible study questions, and other times it looks like just journaling, answering questions even as if I'm almost like dialoguing with the Lord, or writing a letter. Sometimes I've even just written scripture. Like I've actually thought, I want to meditate on this psalm, and so I've written the psalm out as I've done it. But to give my hands something to do keeps my head engaged more. It keeps my hands from looking at my phone or starting to organize some papers that are sitting there or planning dinner for the night or whatever. So to me, it's just been helpful to discipline myself and try to set a liturgy that is one that I want to strive to grow in.
Yeah.
So that's what it looks like for me. Yeah.
That's great. Kind of practically what this will look like is for the next 3 weeks, we are going to give everyone at Redeemer, it'll be available in the email. We'll also have these available on Sunday mornings, but some Lenten prayer journals. The first week will be kind of questions focused on our relationship with God. The second will be kind of questions focused on our relationship with other people. And the third will be kind of questions focused on examining our relationship with the church. And so there are a few kind of ways that you might use this. One of the things that we talked about a few weeks ago is using fasting as a way of creating space to pay attention to God for kind of prayer and self-examination. And so really there's sort of 3 ways that I'd encourage you to consider using these journals. And the first would be, maybe that looks like fasting for an entire day and carving out the space that you would have used to eat a meal to actually spend some time kind of thinking and praying and journaling through these questions. For others, it might be fasting for a meal and maybe picking 1 or 2 of those questions that you want to focus on. Look at the questions in the journal and see, oh man, like that one feels like something that I need to spend some time with. For some of us, fasting from food isn't the best option. And so that might look like turning off my phone and spending maybe a little bit longer time than I'm even used to spending, maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half, kind of thinking and praying through some of these questions. And so the idea is not to say this is exactly what this needs to look like for everyone, but giving kind of some level of structure and guidance, but also some freedom to think through what this could look like for you.
That's awesome. Yep. For me, it will look like, I always just have to kind of guess where my time's going to be. I'll probably stick it in my bag because inevitably when I get to pick up my kids from baseball practice goes really long. And so I'm just going to have it there with me in the car, which I think will be useful just to sit there and actually redeem that time because it's time that I can give to the Lord instead of just looking at Facebook or whatnot. So that's what I'm hoping to do.
That's great.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today, and we're praying for you in this season. We're grateful for the opportunity to grow together.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.